Yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Slick, live at work. Yeah, I know I've been gone for a couple of days because of the Thanksgiving holiday. Um, it also feels like I'm coming down with the flu too. So, forgive me if my delivery is kind of off. But today's topic is not a question. It stems from a clip from a recent live stream that was on the Peef Network. And of course, one of their favorite topics to talk about is body count. One of the women on the panel asked the men, when it comes to a woman's body count, what bothers you the most? Is it the physical aspect or is it the emotional slash mental? And I'm like, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. And I'm going to answer it. Allow me to explain. First and foremost, the answer is both, but one leans more to that side than the other. And what I'm talking about is the age and maturity level of that specific man, or just men in general. When you're younger, the physical aspect bothers you the most because you're thinking to yourself anatomically that a woman is more internal. So she's letting all of these guys inside of her, and you're like, yuck, like, ugh. You know, the key lock analogy that a lot of guys like to bring up. So when you're younger, it's definitely the physical aspect that bothers you the most because you're looking at it like women are internal, men are external. So a woman allowing a whole bunch of men inside of her body is disgusting. That's what you think initially, right? Until you start to get older and you spend more time with women and you look at things differently, right? Your insecurity level is not as high later on. So when you get older, the emotional, mental aspect is what is most concerning. A woman who beds a lot of men starts to lose the capability of pair bonding. The more men she sleeps with, the less she can pair bond. I know a lot of women are trying to debunk this, but it is what it is. I know it doesn't apply to every man they have a sexual encounter with, but 9 times out of 10, even if it's a guy that you don't even have that kind of feeling for, or those kind of feelings for, you're letting a man inside of you. You get what I'm saying? There's that connection right there. You know what I mean? And imagine doing that every time. Let's say you do that with 10 guys a year from 20 to 30. That's 100 bodies. You think that woman is going to love you the same way? Like her first, second, or even third? First could be the one that swiped her V card. The second could be her baby father. The third can be her other baby father. Who knows? But those guys got her when she was still capable of having an emotional connection with them. This is what a lot of dudes bring up in the manosphere is that pair bond thing. More of them bring that up than the key lock analogy. Like just one key, then another key, then another key, then another key. That lock is worthless. That's how you was thinking before. But like I said, but afterwards you start thinking more like, okay, I have, an emotional bond with this woman, but are the feelings mutual? Now, the problem with this, like one of the guys on the panel was bringing up, after the woman asked him, so you can tell a woman has been with a lot of guys by just looking at her. According to him, he said yes, because she had tattoos, nice body, weave, that automatically equates to a woman being a hoe, which I highly disagree with. Now, those can be red flags. The main thing that disturbed me with that TikTok video they were showing with that woman is the fact she was trying to justify fucking around. That is the dead giveaway that she's been around the block and then some. More so than her physical appearance. It's the way she carried herself and the way she was talking. That's what made me look at her as a hoe. I'm like, you really justifying that shit. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Like I always say, men and women have physical needs. Women are going to have sex whether you like it or not. And that's something you're just going to have to deal with. Just hope that she hasn't been ran through. You know what I mean? Like I said, the biggest issue is the emotional, mental aspect. Or that's where she's most affected. Like I said, the physical, you don't think about that as much. Like I always say, every time I go into a situation, I automatically assume that woman has been with at least 10 guys, and I'll leave it at that. I'm sure it's more, but I don't care to know. And you're going to have to come to the realization that your woman has been with other men. You know what I mean? Like I said, it is what it is. The same way we've been with other women. You know what I mean? She's tainted like I'm tainted, so I'm no better in that regard. But with us, we can separate or compartmentalize our physical urges and our emotional need. Women, on the other hand, usually have those two intertwined. It's very hard for them to separate both, right? Now, when they talk about arousal, like a woman can be mentally aroused but physically turned off, and vice versa. That that could be the case, but that's a different topic for a different day. When it comes down to it, a woman's emotional stability is more important than the amount of guys that she's been with. No man wants a hoe. No man wants a hoe. But you're not truly going to know unless you know her reputation prior. You're not truly going to know how many guys she's been with, even if you ask her up front, which is fucking stupid, by the way, because you're not going to get the answer you want. And when I mean the answer you want, she can tell you the truth or she can tell you a lie. You're not going to believe it either way, so just leave it alone. That's the best thing you can do, pushing forward. Just hope that she's able to bond with you on an emotional level. And that is the most important thing. Like I said, at this point in time in my life, that is more important than the amount of bodies that she had. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, no man wants a woman that's been around the block, but you're never going to know if she has or not, unless she gained a reputation over the years. I see it. I see it, and I've seen it time and time again. I know plenty of women that do have a hoe reputation, and not just being called one. They are like known hoes. Still was able to find somebody, had a family, had kids, still in a happy, successful relationship, and that's all you can hope for. So that's my answer. When you're younger, the amount of bodies is more important. When you're older, the emotional stability and pair bond capability is more important. Southpaw Slick. Break's about to be over. I'm out.